Hey, it's Motorcycle Talk with Nic and Dave, and we're in for the next session here for episode 4. We've got a few things we're going through here. We're going to talk about ride with a pillion, as well as the other things talking about. We've got, is it a real Australian location, mate? But tell us about our guest today.
I don't really want to. She's just generally a pain in my
Everyone saw that I didn't say anything there. Just making that clear. That was 100% Digby.
Yeah.
I think you're more of a pain than I am.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Well, the weird thing is I went back to riding. I don't know, 12, 14 years ago, and Jaqs was not interested in any way or form of getting onto the motorcycle. It wasn't going to happen. It was not going to happen, right? She'd never really been a big fan. I mean, I was riding a motorbike when we first met, and we had some friends with motorbikes that were riding with passengers with their wives on the back, and so that sort of encouraged Jaqs out there. And I knew that if I did anything stupid or crazy or whatever, that was going to be it. And I explained to her that, just go with me, do not ever go against, because you start getting this, you know what I mean? If you're turning like that and then she wants to go, the whole bike can just, down you go.
Yeah, the last thing you need when you're trying to get around a corner is to have somebody leaning against what you're trying to do. The Jen's my pillion, and when the first time that she pillioned with me, I said, look, you got to be like a sack of potatoes. You're part of the luggage, essentially. It's not up to you to ride the bike. I'm the one who rides the bike. And that said, it's good advice to tell your pillion to sort of just look through the corner, because it does naturally make them move with the bike into the corner, so they're not feeling like they've got to be all straight and stiff. You can just tell them to look through the corner, but don't lean the bike. I lean the bike. You just look through, and keeping them sort of moving with the bike naturally.
I just jump back on what you just said there and to make sure that they know that you said it. And can you please email Nic and tell him that how the passenger feels about being caught with the luggage?
There might be a better way to word that. Okay, it's a fair point. See, I've never been a pillion. I don't know if you have, Dave, but I've never been a pillion. And honestly, I think really highly of pillions, because I wouldn't want to let go like that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I only for a very short time, when we stayed in Minnesota for the Indian Bike Week, we were waiting for our bike to be ready at the Indian place, and a friend that I've been with on Facebook gave me a lift. It was literally only 3 minutes around the corner, and it felt different. I definitely felt and I could have been doing all the wrong things myself, because as a rider, you tend to do what you want to do because you're going to adapt straight away. The pillion passenger doesn't necessarily know that you're going to do it. I'm fortunate. I don't even know Jaqs is there half the time, and that goes back to a time where I actually left her. I don't.
No, you're not serious.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. This was a few years ago.
How did you ever recover from that?
I'm not saying I have. It was. Look, there was.
No, there was not.
We're at Scarborough, a very popular place to go at night time. Lots of motorbikes and cars on the beach, and it's a fantastic spot. And there was a few of us, and we're getting ready to go. And I've got on sort of taking off. And I'll just go into the middle, a very narrow little road bit near the beach, and I'll just go into the middle bit and stop there. And Jaqs was about to get on, and I've just taken off.
Wow.
And gone this. and it's crowded with people everywhere. Nightclubbers and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And and she's walked up through the crowd across the small road bit, and I went to say something, and all I had to see was her eyes, and I went, "Don't say," and she just that look like don't. And gone on. I went, oh no, this is it's going to be a long ride home.
Well, there's something really nice about your partner having their arms around you when you're riding, but I don't know if it's the best riding position, but it's really nice.
Yeah, I know that when we get into some real cornery bits, or it's that type of road, it's the only time I ever feel the hands. I think it just helps her know that if I'm start to lean, she just goes with me.
Yeah, I see that.
It's absolutely in sync, without a doubt. But I was going to say that we're very fortunate that with the Indian, and I think it's a few of the Harley touring bikes and what have you, but these ones especially have a beautiful almost wraparound with the trunk.
Yeah,
back.
Those things look comfortable.
And it's like an armrest. It's like a lounge chair.
Yeah.
She's pretty much hugged in.
Yeah, when I wasn't on a bike at the time, but I was with Jen, and we were in a van. We were doing some relocation and stuff, and there was a sports bike rider with that tiny little seat on the back for the pillion, and there was a woman with her who was pillioning, and they pulled up, and we said, "Wow, that's amazing. I mean, it must be much more practical than it looks." And she just said, "No, it's not. It's basically really uncomfortable, and there's not much for me to sit on back there. It seems like I mean, it seems pointless having that pillion seat on no sport bike when they're so small."
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what age group you're talking about there, but generally, like I say, it's very much the younger crowd. They tend to just, the things we did, the things we rode on, or things we did
That's true.
We wouldn't even think about now, because you go, that's way too uncomfortable, or couldn't be stuffed, or you're lucky, a lot of us lucky to survive that era, that time.
Yeah.
Because
well, when you look at the stats of riders, and people say, "Oh, look, you're 3 times more likely to die on a bike," when you look at the stats, but they are heavily pushed towards young riders or newly returning riders who haven't ridden for a long time, and also people who tend to speed or push and that sort of thing. And if you're a conservative rider, at least in the terms of the way you ride, not where you ride, and you approach it with wisdom, I suppose, if you're careful instead of reckless, you're not making it safe, but you're making it a lot safer than what those ads odds imply. The communication, I don't use comms with Pillion, but I do have a communication system. I got 1 tap means, "Hey, have a look at that." We got 2 taps means, "Hey, pull over when it's a decent time to do it. I want to pull over sometime soon, like a bathroom or something." And 3 taps is like an emergency, like pull over literally as quickly as you can because something's really bad, like I'm not sitting on the seat right, or something's gone wrong.
Yeah. I've been meaning to bring that in, actually, sort of with that, but I don't know. We don't have anything like that. She just squeezes. I'm just quickly. I mean, at the time we just missed the kangaroo on the Nullarbor on that last trip, and I just happened to be looking over to the right, scanning, and she spotted probably half a second before me.
Wow!
And I saw it in my peripheral, and I worked out that if I just slowed down or de-accelerated, it was going to pass just in time.
Wow!
But yeah, that was just a bit of a squeeze, or a good decent squeeze. So I knew something was wrong. But yeah, the tap situation could work, but.
The first time that I learned how to pillion, well, the first time I did pillion was a brilliant place. It was at Uluru, Ayers Rock. That's where I did pillioning for the first time.
Seen the pictures.
Yeah, brilliant way to sort of start it off. And I just pulled out onto a straight road, middle, and there was nothing around, not much traffic from the hotel we'd stayed at. And she jumped on the back, and we did a straight line, and then she got off and turned the bike around, and she got on, did a straight line a couple of times, just for me to get a feel of it. And then we were pretty much good to go from there. It was not a problem, and she got some amazing footage while we were riding. It was a beautiful way to sort of share riding for the first time. It was amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, okay. So, and she's down your way. Is she live in New South Wales?
Yeah, she's much closer to Sydney than me, but we just sort of line up rides every now and then. And normally, I'm not the sort of guy that likes to go for a ride for an hour or two, or even a day ride. I'm more of a, I like to sort of really be going somewhere when I ride, and so often when I see the opportunity, like I might be riding across to say Adelaide or Melbourne or something, I might ride into Canberra with Jen, then she'll jump on the train and take the train home, and then I ride on. But luggage is always an issue because we've got to find places for two people instead of one.
Yes. Two questions on that, Nick. Is like we've got a lot in common there, in the sense that the short rides just do nothing for me anymore. We might be going out for a ride today, up to 2J, got some beautiful towns out there. It's going to be a beautiful day.
Nice.
But I've just done it. I've done it a million times, and it's not that far and all the rest of it. So, yeah, I like that idea of going, that long distance and the challenge involved and all that sort of stuff.
We should find out if you can retain your 100% score on is it a real Australian place name or not. You got a 100% score, a 2 out of 2. So I don't know. You think you're up for 3 out of 3, Digby?
Mate, I am. I'm the man. You know that.
Mate, that's the confidence you need in order to get that score. We've got 2 place names. We've got Ninu, and we've got Weewa. Which one of those you reckon is a real place name?
I'm pretty sure Weewa is real.
3 out of 3, Digby. Weewa in New South Wales. Nice work.
I think I might have heard of that before. Yes. I told you, mate. It's
You've clearly been studying. It's incredible.
Yeah, studying.
Well, I reckon the good-looking factor of this podcast has just gone up around about 700% with our next guest. You want to introduce your next guest, Digby?
No, really?
Nic.
Hi, Jen. My pillion passenger and a lifelong partner and best friend.
Oh, God, even I'm going to be sick
You're
on
my
that
oopie doopie whoopie whoopie. You're my oozy boozy.
Far out.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Nic?
the one and only Jaqs.
Well, look, the first question I got for you, Jaqs, is I'm wondering how much has Digby paid you to say nice things about him in this interview?
Oh, I thought the first question would be why.
Well, you obviously haven't paid enough, Digby, just going on that.
Oh, I told you. She doesn't get this for free, mate.
No, I don't. I really don't.
Anyway, you've got 2 minutes.
Hey, what I'm wondering, question number 1 would be, what do you remember of the first time that you pillion rode with Digby?
The actual proper ride, because I've had like a few little spurts like around the block and things like that. Mm-hmm. The actual first proper ride, we went down, I don't know where we were heading, we went down to Mundaring Weir Road and Dave had to lock the bike up.
As in lock up
the
brakes?
Yep, lock up the brakes. Full on lock up the brakes because someone had decided to pull over on a road that there's nowhere to pull over and he had to fully lock up the bike.
They just decided to stop in the middle of the road.
Yeah, and amazing. I remember thinking, oh, okay. Dave goes, you all right? I went, yep, fine. And I thought, well, if that hasn't scared the out of me, I'm good.
That's amazing. Did you feel sort of a little thrill that you were dealing with such a dangerous man in Digby in that case?
that was on the Honda Shadow too, huh?
That was on the Honda Shadow, yeah. So I just, held on, gripped.
Yeah. Well, look, here's a question. I mean, Jen, when Jen rocked Pillions with me, she says that she does this. She sometimes falls asleep while I'm riding, and I like to think it's because I'm such a relaxing rider, not because of my sparkling conversation. What I'm wondering is, do you fall asleep when you're pillion?
Quite a bit.
Wow.
Yeah. We left a friend's house one night, which is in Bayswater, which is probably about 40 minutes, roughly. Beautiful night. And riding on the freeway, I thought, oh, this is lovely. Next thing I remember, we were in the garage.
Wow.
So, and I've even fallen asleep on the old bike, which doesn't hug you in as well. It's like I sit and plonk and I don't move. So, and I fell asleep on the Nullarbor as well.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Until the kangaroo came around, and then I became the meerkat watching constantly for kangaroos.
For sure. That's I've had the same experience having my pillion sort of squeeze and point, and that was riding up to Alice Springs from Uluru, and we were riding into the twilight, which is a terrible time to be riding there, but that's a whole story for another time. Yeah. What do you like about pillioning?
I get a lot of I could go on the bike with no. I could get on the bike with a headache and come home without one. It just is, he could play music, and if I don't really want to listen to the music, I tune out of the music. It's just, that's why I don't like headsets and talking, and we had one where it did work a long time ago and I just kept turning him off. It's like, I don't want to listen to you talk.
Yeah, I want to be in the moment and enjoy.
And I just look at, you're just looking at the scenery or the smells or whatever the case may be, and it's just...
That's not always me.
No, well, it's not always. Sometimes it really, really is. There is a funny story to that, but yeah. It's a case of like work for me is really busy and hectic, and just having that chill out ride, get away is really good. Shut up.
She went to put her helmet on once, and I just done one, and she scooped it, literally, scooped it and put it on, and she's just...
You ever considered riding yourself, Jaqs?
I'm not big for two wheels, but I'd love a trike.
Jack's very strict on what, she always have her jacket on, always full face and gloves, and we got the Kevlar pants and everything.
I did try the open face when after I'd had nose surgery, and yes, you can see a lot more and everything else, but I just felt it just didn't feel right for me, so I just put that on. But same with all my gear and that. Even in Minnesota, it was stinking hot, and I was riding with a jacket on.
You're very much an all the gear all the time person.
Yeah, pretty much. Like sometimes I don't wear my Kevlar pants. I'll just wear jeans, but I'm always in boots.
But you have Naked Friday type thing.
Trust me, no one wants to see Naked Friday. Oh my God. No. We've done it where I don't mean naked, sorry. When we used to, where were we? Where did we, where does Tammy and Dean live, where we went?
Early Beach.
Early Beach, yeah. Early Beach, like we just wore, I didn't put a jacket on, and we rode down into Early Beach from their place. And I didn't have a jacket or I think I might have put my gloves on. So that sort of little strip is fine. But if I'm riding somewhere, full gear.
Yeah. You've done a lot of long-haul rides with Digby. What's probably your favourite memory of one of those trips that you wouldn't have been able to experience if you weren't on the back of a bike?
Jindabyne.
Why
Jindabyne?
Because it was all windy roads and, it was awesome.
That was one of our best.
I like windy roads. They're really cool.
Yeah. Jindabyne's a beautiful place to ride too. It's gorgeous.
Oh, it was just, the temperature was just beautiful.
All the way through there to Snowy Mountains and Jindabyne.
Good.
And the weather was absolutely perfect. We ended up staying 2 nights in Jindabyne instead of one. It was just, it was bloody beautiful. It was just beautiful riding, and it was just great temperatures and windy roads, and you're on the back of the bike, so it's all open and fresh. And But changes though, doesn't it? I mean, we went through valleys where it was just complete scenery going on all around, and then you start to hit those bends and mountains. So contrast was completely different, but both of them were unbelievable.
Incredible.
I mean, really soaked that in.
I'd rather ride a little bit cooler than hot.
Yeah, I feel the same. I like a cool, sunny day. I think that's the perfect riding weather.
Yeah, but I'd rather rug up and go, put the heater on, I'm warm, than be like, oh my God, this is just sticky and disgusting and I want to take my jacket off, but I don't.
Yeah.
I'll leave it open. I will ride with it open, as you've seen.
That's such a great piece of footage.
Yeah, that was. I was literally flapping the jacket trying to get cool.
Hey,
But,
here's
yeah.
a question, and you don't need to worry about what Digby says as an answer, but but here's a question. Obviously, Digby is very into Indian bikes, going on his Indian hat, his Indian poster in the background there, his Indian scarf he's wearing, etc. If Indian decided to change to Harley Davidson, would you stay with Digby or would you find another Indian rider?
You think I'm with him for his Indian status?
Yeah, that's right.
I just wonder where this question's come from, Nick, seeing that you're considering a V-rod at the moment. So there might be some underlining.
Would you ever consider a V-rod rider? Just hypothetically wondering, I mean.
Hypothetically, yeah.
Oh, I thought you yelled out prick the other night. It was Nick.
Oh, dear.
God damn.
This is going nowhere fast.
Yeah.
I don't care what bikes are. I'm like Dave. It's like it's a nice bike. It's a nice bike.
Yeah.
I love some of those CVOs and ultra
The
bikes.
only bike I didn't like being on the back of was that Boulevard we had, and we had it only for a week, and I just felt like I was sitting so far above Dave at the back that if he braked even reasonably hard, I'd just take off.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a Suzuki Boulevard.
Suzuki Boulevard, C50?
The 109. It was the 1800cc.
Right, yeah.
But it was you got the sports one, and I think this one was the R109. I'd have to read by memory.
Yeah, sounds right.
Bloody beautiful looking bike. It was white and the brown and all the rest of it. But oh my God, I never rode such a awkward. I just I don't know.
Well, you only had it a week.
Wow.
1 week I had it. Knew I'd made a mistake.
Both of you were like, nah, this bike's just not a good experience.
No, and then spotted the. I had a guy I was riding with, and he said, "Dave, He said, "You're not happy." He says, "You're not happy. You need to find something else." And I found the Yamaha Royal Star Tour Deluxe.
Nice.
V4 1300, a beautiful bike, white pearl one, and I had that for a little while, and that was the one before the Indian. So, yeah. Anyway, so.
But yeah, no, that was.
I don't think. Yeah, I've said it before. I mean, it doesn't have to have the Indian name on there. I just love the look of the bike.
Yeah.
I've got to be visually pleased, and as well, but that's not enough. Can I just interrupt quickly this podcast with advertisement? Here we go, guys.
Nice.
Okay. We are now getting. Well, I've been offered before to promote stuff, but I felt we didn't have enough subs, and really don't have that many subs yet. But this guy felt warranted to send us a couple of these. I don't know. He had a strange name for them, but these are like your neck warmers.
Neck scarf.
People know what they are.
You slip over the head. It's nice and long. And I will say that, my opinion, they're not frazzled. The texture is really good, especially nice and soft on the inside.
Not frazzled.
Yeah, not fizzled, on the edge. They're not coming apart, babe. Looks like they're going to last. The quality material.
Okay.
Quality material, babe. Mm-hmm. So Boomerang Biker, the Boomerang Biker, he's on YouTube. He's got quite a few subs. Got some really good footage, this bloke. No two ways about it. And obviously it's in the Indigenous Aboriginal colours. So pretty cool. We're both... Did you
I
like?
wore mine, yeah, I wore mine yesterday. It was good.
And it was real chilly when we went out yesterday. And these were fantastic.
Well, they
They
look
were really good.
terrific,
So
so it's great to know they're
go
actually
go
made
to
well as
Boomerang
well.
Biker. We'll put up a link to where you can get these.
Mhm.
And
We should have asked him how much they were so we could have told people.
well, you know,
Well, they're good ones, so whatever it is, I'm sure it's good.
yeah. So we'll put up a link so you can get hold of him and purchase them. I believe he's in Victoria.
Victoria. He is.
So far enough away.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Boomerang Rider. They're great looking neck scarves, and to hear that they're great quality, that they feel good and right.
Yeah, his name's Nick too, but
Really?
I'm not going to hold that against him. But yeah, thanks, Nick. Boomerang Biker. Get on it. Follow the link. Go to stuff and grab yourself some of these. Absolutely 5-star. Got the Digby's thumbs up.
Yeah, check him out. And check out his channel too. I had a look at his channel. He's got some great stuff on there.
He has, yeah. So back to our normal transmission. What advice would you give to other Pillion passengers to make it, comfortable for yourself or for the ride and for the
What advice would I give? One, you've got to want to be on the back of the bike for starters. Because if you don't want to be on the back of the bike, I don't think it matters how good the rider is or anything else. You don't want to be there. You need to be able to relax on the back of the bike. If you can't relax on the back of the bike, you're constantly tensed. I know, like, when we've been riding like Jindabyne and stuff, and I love it, but you are, like, your legs are constantly tense because you're moving with the bike and all that sort of stuff. You can get off and feel like you've done a workout. So it's you need to be able to relax and enjoy the ride.
feel safe.
Feel safe, exactly. Be totally happy with who you're riding with, of course, and trust. If you don't trust them, then there's no point getting on the back of a bike with them, for starters. And also, like, you can sit on the back of the bike and be nonchalant if you want, but I'm aware of what's going on around. I try to be anyway, because as I said, 4 eyes are better than 2. And on the roads these days, there's just that many idiots.
Too many
that
people
don't
staring
look.
at their phones.
Yeah.
Well, I know it's all Australia-wide and everywhere, but you'll notice when you get over here, well, hopefully you won't notice too much, but just there's some arrogance. It's just arrogance and emerging. They've got no idea emerging. You're trying to come onto a freeway and it's like you're trying to
Everybody's trying to
request a kidney off the person who's on. Well, if you're in front, let them go in front. If you're behind, then it's just merge on. But they'll sort of speed up. It's like the person merging onto the freeway has got nowhere else to go. They're going on the freeway.
That's interesting.
But then you've got the ones merging on the freeway are doing 70, 80 Ks coming onto a 100K freeway. It's like,
What do you do about helmet hair and makeup when it comes to getting a helmet on and off? Like, how do you handle helmet hair and makeup?
Well, depends where we're going. If we're just going for a ride or something, I don't wear a lot of makeup anyway. I do wear some, but not a lot. Probably what I've got on today is pretty much my extreme, I guess, maybe, which isn't a lot. When we're riding, like on a trip or something, I put eyeliner on and that's it. So I don't tend to have to worry. If you look in my helmet, though, you will see makeup marks. Helmet hair, I hate that. It doesn't matter what you do, how you do it. It just does your head in.
moving on.
I cut all my hair off at one stage to my shoulders, and that was good for the fact that it didn't turn my hair into a bird's nest. But you still get that flat look but you just get to the stage where, especially if you're traveling, you just go, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. What about like you got long hair? Do you sort of tuck it into your jacket or tie it back so that it's not all knotted?
Well, because I always wear one of these. And I just pull it over to quite high and then put my helmet on. So that holds a lot of my hair down, and then my jacket goes over the top.
That's a good tip.
So it tucks it all in and stuff. Putting it in a ponytail, and you've got to have it like right at the back. You can't have it up because you'll just feel it on the helmet.
Yep.
So you've got to be careful if you do tie it up that where is your scrunchie and all that sort of stuff. So it's too hard basket for me. I just leave it down and just cover everything up so it doesn't take off and I turn into a big bird's nest mess.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. What about what about if you could? I know this is starting to get. This is why I put it in the ponytail before I come on. This is if you could ride anywhere, like if you could just ride anywhere in the world, there was no restrictions on price or how to get there and things. Where would you want to ride?
I do want to do America, a fair bit of America, but I think I've always wanted to go to Prague.
Prague.
Yeah.
For the city or for the riding?
Both.
Both, I think. We do have
A friend in Prague, or Dave, someone.
I can't say his damn name properly. Velkriv. We followed him. He's from Prague, and I said to him, because every picture he put up was just like
Picturesque.
postcode stuff. And I said, is it really that good? And he said, oh, mate, it's magnificent over here. And I said, do they have an Indian shop? And he said, mate, you come over here. He said, don't worry, we'll look after, we'll get a bike for you.
Wow.
Oh, wow. You know, and he recently, not long ago, he did a whole trip through the States. And we followed him all the way through, and it was absolutely fantastic. But, yeah, Prague would be a great place. I mean, we're lucky we've been around the world a couple of times, done a few places, but there's so many. There's so many to see and, you know, ride. What's that road through Italy? It's a zigzag thing. It goes all the way down the cliff.
Oh, I've seen the footage of that, and they got those really thin tunnels through the side of the mountain.
Well, yeah, there's thin tunnels, but this one's it just winds down this mountain. I can't think of the name right now. I'm sure everyone can.
Someone will tell you.
Someone will tell us, but I've gone blank on the name of it. But yeah, that's a good question. The States for me. I wish we could just move over there for 12 months and just travel around all the roads. I mean,
yeah, you really need at least. I mean, if someone said, "Hey, Australia," I mean, how many years would you need to do all the rides you really want to do in the fullness? And the United States is much more road network. What's that?
Yeah, I feel I haven't even. I've done it 2 times around Australia, and I feel like I haven't even touched the surface of where I could turn or go down, and all the rest of it. But yeah.
Hey, I got another question for you, Jaqs. I'm wondering, what about the gear you wear, women's gear? Is it hard to find good women's gear for riding?
Yes.
Yeah?
It's hard to find. That's probably the one thing Indian, it's probably not riding gear. Riding gear I find is hard to get because a lot of the Kevlar pants are ridiculously heavy and I don't like that. And a couple of the places that have had good riding gear have closed down and you can buy online, but I like to try my gear on first.
Yeah, certainly.
Just because something looks great doesn't mean it fits great.
It has to fit well. I've thrown away hundreds of dollars on a jacket with the sleeves are just that much too long and I couldn't wear it. It was just wasn't sitting right, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So, and then when you're talking pants, it's, you want them to be comfortable. That's another thing with the Pillion. You've got to wear comfortable gear. You're going to be sitting on the bike, getting on, getting off, all that type of thing. I always wear boots, none of these runner's shoes, whatever the case may be. I've had a girlfriend who nearly broke her toe because she was riding with, I think she had, I don't know if it was thongs or might have been thongs on or something. It was a hot day and the other half rode too close to the gutter. So I've always been boots no matter what. Yeah. But actual gear, like logo gear, like Indian stuff, over in Australia anyway, it's
pain in the ass.
It's not that great for women because everything is round neck, very few V-necks or anything. It's all sort of like guys stuff, but they've put the word it's ladies and smaller sizes basically.
That seems like
And
such a market that I mean, especially for Indian and Harley riders, where branding's such a big thing, you'd think that they'd want to set things up so that, hey, all these people, all these, men or women pillioning can wear stuff that's branded and look good. I mean, you think that'd be a massive market. It's essentially
Well, in America it is.
I'm sorry.
In America it is.
It is?
In America it is. It's fantastic.
Really?
You go over there, mate, and the shops blow your mind.
You're joking.
But, well, for instance, last week we were down an hour south from here, and we went into the Harley shop, which has only been there for a couple of years, that one down there. And the merchandise was just unbelievable. I mean, they've got that stuff down absolutely nailed.
Wow.
But because they're basically, not that they're not, a lot of them are not independent dealers, they are, but they're owned by big car yards and that. But the ones here are gone to smaller shops now with the Indians, and we just stuff all merchandise. It's ridiculous.
they just need to get out there and look at different styles and stuff, because some of the Harley, but some of the Harley ladies wear is really cool. It's it's got lace up sides or something different to it, instead of, well, here's a t-shirt and it's got a crew neck and there you go, $50 later.
Yeah, prices are ridiculous.
Would you feel comfortable wearing Harley gear on the back of an Indian?
No,
it just wouldn't be right.
No.
It doesn't suit because if he had a Harley and an Indian, well, hey, sure. Or I'll wear neutral bike stuff that might be, you can say, oh, yeah, that's definitely something to do with bikes, but it's not a brand. That's fine too. But I just think when you've got an Indian and you're wearing Harley gear, it's just a bit...
It wouldn't look right.
No.
Really good burn in, because you could say, when someone says, hey, how come your Pillions wearing Harley gear? You could say, well, her rider broke down, so I'm giving her a lift and a reliable bike, It'd be a pretty good burn.
Once again, viewers,
That's good.
I did not say that. Okay.
No. And I didn't
Please
agree.
email Nic with all your disputes.
I didn't agree, I just laughed. Yeah, that's funny.
Now, how many bikes would Digby be able to buy until you started pushing back? What's the limit for you?
He's only got one ass. It depends. Like at the situation now, yeah, one definitely. I know that if we could afford it, he'd buy back his old bike.
Oh, sure.
And that I wouldn't argue about.
But yeah, it's funny you say that, because I want it back for historical reasons and my first ever new vehicle and first Indian, blah, blah, blah. But I remember like the last month or two with it, it was spring suspension, or it was just getting very hard on us riding for the distances we were doing, and it just wasn't comfortable.
I just think with Pillions, I think you've just got to trust your rider, want to be on the bike, wear proper gear and stuff like that. That's my preference. I know it's a personal preference, but, if you've got a guy that rides his bike and he wears shorts and thongs, it doesn't mean you have to. And
Go with your gut feeling.
You've got to do what's right for you, and as I say, I always wear my jacket, even if it's stinking hot and Dave can be in a T-shirt. Yeah. That's fine, but he respects that that's what I wish to do.
Yeah.
So there's no sort of thing in that respect. And just relax and enjoy, and as he says, go with the bike.
Jaqs, that's been great chatting with you. I love hearing these answers, these questions, and putting some answers to some of these situations we've seen in your videos at Digby.
Jack's going to leave us, I think.
That's everything we needed. Hey, good to see you, Jaqs.
Yeah, you too.
All right, you take care. See you soon.
Bye. Yeah, see you soon.
Amazing. All right, it's great to see you, man, and it's great to be your guest. It's I guess it's the only time you get to sleep with the guest after the show.
Yeah, well, you've got to give them some perks.
Well, hopefully you haven't slept with all the other guests, but we'll see you next.
Thanks again, buddy.
Great to see you. All right, you take care.
All
We'll
right.
see you in a few weeks for the next one.
Will do.
All right, see you, mate.
Thanks, Nick. See you, mate.